Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into the world of direct-to-cell satellite technology.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been like in the middle of nowhere and you just wish you could use your phone?
All the time.
This is the technology that's going to make that happen.
It's going to be incredible.
And we've got some awesome sources here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, some really interesting stuff.
And so we're going to kind of break down the basics.
Okay.
Talk about this really cool historic first in satellite communication. And then compare these two major players, AST, Space Mobile, and SpaceX Starlink.
The big guys.
Yeah, the big guys, so it's could be a good one.
Absolutely. This exciting stuff really has the potential to, totally change how we think about communication.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
What exactly is direct-to-cell satellite technology?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of self-explanatory,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's more to it.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
So basically, it's using satellites in space
Okay.
as giant cell towers. Oh, okay.
So instead of relying on those ground-based towers
Right.
that we're all used to, your phone could connect directly to a satellite
Oh, wow.
and beam signals back and forth.
So that means no more searching for a signal when you're hiking or you're out in the boonies.
Yeah, exactly. Or road tripping through a remote area.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And it's not just about convenience either. Think about emergency situations,
Oh, right.
natural disasters, or, bringing communication to communities around the world who have never had it reliably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a huge impact.
Yeah, huge impact. And the thing is, you don't need any special equipment
Right.
to use this.
You don't.
It uses technology that's already in your phone.
Yeah, most modern smartphones have what's called an eNode B modem.
Okay.
And you can think of it as like a mini cell tower receiver
Oh, okay.
held right into your phone.
Wow.
And direct-to-cell satellites are designed to talk to these modems.
So essentially, your phone becomes a satellite phone without any extra hardware.
So like the satellite phones you see in the movies?
Exactly.
That's so cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So your phone, in theory, could connect to a satellite,
Wow.
but the network needs to be there first. That's what all these companies are working on.
Okay.
Which brings us to our two players.
Okay.
AST Space Mobile and SpaceX Starlink.
Okay.
Both want to make this direct-to-cell dream a reality, but they're taking slightly different approaches.
Okay, let's start with AST Space Mobile.
Sure.
I feel like they've been in the news a lot lately.
They have. AST Space Mobile has been focused on direct-to-cell from the beginning.
Okay.
And they even had a historic first back in April 2023.
Well,
World's first two-way voice call from space
really?
using an unmodified Samsung Galaxy S22.
What?
Yeah.
A regular smartphone?
Just a regular smartphone making a call from space.
That's insane.
Yeah, it feels very futuristic.
It does?
And it's really showing how dedicated they are to this technology.
Yeah.
They've developed these massive satellites called Bluebirds,
Wow.
and they are specifically designed for direct-to-cell communication.
And they're not just aiming for voice calls, are they?
No, they're not.
I was reading that they're trying to get speeds like 4G and even some 5G networks.
Yeah, that's right. In 2023, they hit speeds of 14 melody Ps.
Wow.
That's enough for HD video streaming.
That's awesome.
And their goal is to get up to 120 millips with a full constellation of 168 satellites.
That's crazy.
Which would be a game changer for people in remote areas.
Yeah, especially those who rely on the slower satellite internet.
Much slower and more expensive connections.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is pretty incredible.
But they're not the only ones in the game.
No, they're not.
What about SpaceX Starlink?
Yeah.
They're already a big name in the satellite internet world.
Absolutely. Starlink's been all over the headlines with their satellite internet service,
Yeah.
which uses specialized user terminals. But they've also realized the potential of direct-to-cell.
Okay.
And they started modifying their existing satellites to have those capabilities.
So they're kind of jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, you could say that, but they do have their own strengths.
Okay, like what?
Well, they already have a huge user base.
Yeah, that's true.
Over 4.6 million people across 118 countries.
Wow.
Using their satellite internet service.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
It is, and they're also known for their speed.
Oh, yeah.
They boast speeds 65 times faster than traditional geostationary satellites.
Wow, that's amazing.
And very impressive.
So it sounds like we have a real race heating up in the direct-to-cell space.
It's going to be interesting to watch.
It is.
See how this competition goes.
Yeah.
And how each company tackles the challenges of building these global networks.
Yeah. And speaking of challenges, there are some potential downsides
Oh, yeah, for sure.
to having thousands of satellites up in orbit. Right?
Yeah.
I've heard some concerns about space debris and light pollution.
Yeah, those are real concerns that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
We should dive into those in more detail.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so let's talk about those downsides.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in all the cool stuff.
Right.
Like being able to use your phone anywhere.
Yeah.
But we got to think about what all these satellites are doing to space.
Right, exactly. One of the biggest concerns is space debris.
Oh, yeah.
When you launch more and more satellites up there,
Yeah.
the chances of them hitting each other go way up.
All right.
Creates a bunch of debris.
Right.
And that can damage other satellites or even like future space missions.
So it's kind of like a cosmic traffic jam?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah, with some pretty bad accidents.
So what can we do about it?
Well, there are a few things being explored.
Okay.
Some companies are making tech to actually remove the debris.
Oh, wow.
Like, think robotic arms, nets,
Really?
even lasers.
Lasers. To get rid of space junk.
Yeah, capturing and deorbiting the junk.
That sounds like something from Star Wars.
I know, right? But it's becoming more and more important.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then there's also preventing making more debris in the first place.
Oh, okay.
That's like designing satellites to have a disposal plan
Oh.
when they're done.
So they don't just stay up there.
Exactly. They use their own systems to safely come back down to Earth.
So it's like cleaning up the mess and then not making more mess.
Exactly. A two-pronged approach.
Okay, and everyone has to get on board with that, right?
International cooperation is really important here.
Yeah.
All the countries that use space need to agree on the same practices.
Right, because it's like a shared space.
It is. It's a shared resource we all have to protect.
Yeah, for future generations.
Exactly.
And it's not just space junk, though, is it?
It's not.
What about this light pollution I keep hearing about?
Yeah, that's another big concern. You know those streaks of light you sometimes see in the night sky?
Yeah.
Those are often Starlink satellites.
Oh,
reflecting sunlight.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Now imagine a ton more companies launch even more satellites.
Oh, wow.
It would be a lot brighter.
So what does that do to astronomy?
Astronomers are worried about that.
Yeah.
Too much light makes it hard or even impossible to see the stars.
Oh.
It's like trying to see a faint star in a city.
Right. All the lights from the building.
Exactly. The glare blocks the subtle details.
Okay, so how do we balance wanting to be connected all the time,
Right.
but also like needing to see the night sky?
Well, there are some strategies people are looking at.
Yeah.
One is designing the satellites to be darker,
Oh, okay.
less reflective.
So you can't see them as much?
Exactly.
That's cool.
And some research is going into coatings and materials that like absorb or redirect the sunlight.
So it's not bouncing back to Earth.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And what about radio telescopes?
Oh, yeah, those are important.
They're super sensitive.
Right.
And they're used to study really far away objects.
Yeah.
And those satellite signals could really mess with them.
Yeah, that's a good point. So how do we stop that from happening?
There are a lot of people trying to coordinate
Okay.
between satellite operators
Right.
and the radio astronomers,
Oh, yeah.
making sure the satellite signals don't block the frequencies the telescopes use.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It takes a lot of planning and everyone working together to make this work.
But even with all those challenges, it sounds like this direct-to-cell technology could have a lot of benefits.
Oh, yeah, tons of benefits.
Like we were talking about emergency response earlier.
Yeah.
But what else is there?
Well, one area where it could be really helpful is navigation,
Oh, yeah.
especially in remote areas.
Okay,
Imagine being able to use online maps even when you're miles from a cell tower.
that would be amazing.
Right. No more paper maps
Yeah,
or getting lost in the woods.
I hate when that happens.
I know, it would make exploring new places safer and easier.
Yeah.
And it's not just for hikers or adventurers either.
Oh, okay.
Think about like search and rescue teams.
Yeah.
Disaster relief workers.
Yeah.
Even delivery drivers in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, that's a good point.
Real-time location info could help a lot of people.
So we're really talking about connecting everyone and everything,
Yeah, creating a truly connected world.
where it doesn't matter where you are.
Exactly.
You can still get information.
Location isn't a barrier anymore.
But are we really talking about connecting everyone?
That's an important question.
Yeah.
There are billions of people who don't have reliable internet
Right.
or communication
It's
services.
a huge problem.
It is. It's called the digital divide.
Right.
And DTC could help fix that.
Oh, wow. By bringing connection to the people who've been left out.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
It is. It would give everyone a chance to be part of the digital world,
Yeah.
no matter where they live.
That's awesome. It would open up so many possibilities.
It would. Things like education, jobs,
Right.
empowering people in ways we can't even imagine yet.
It's amazing.
It is. And with all these companies competing,
Yeah.
like SpaceX, AST Space Mobile, even Amazon.
Oh, yeah, Amazon's getting in on this too.
They are with Project Kuiper.
Wow.
We could see things change really quickly.
Oh, wow.
Innovation getting faster, prices coming down.
That would be great.
Yeah, making it even more accessible.
So it's really about connecting the whole world.
It is bringing everyone closer together.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
But with any powerful tech, there's always ethical questions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, what are the downsides of always being connected?
That's something we need to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let's talk about some of those ethical questions.
Yeah, it's important to think about.
For sure. You know, we've talked about all the good things.
Yeah, all the potential.
Connecting people, emergency response, better navigation.
It's exciting stuff.
It is. But what about the downsides being connected 24/7?
That's a great point. We can't ignore the impact all this connection could have.
Right, like on our mental health and stuff.
Exactly, on our lives and relationships.
Yeah, like sometimes I feel overwhelmed
I get it.
with all the notifications and messages and stuff.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It is. It's like you never get a break.
You're always on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we got to think about
Yeah,
as this tech becomes more common.
It's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's how we use it.
And how it changes us.
Exactly.
Do you think there's a risk that we could become too reliant on technology? That's a tough one.
Yeah, like what happens to our sense of direction
Right.
if we're always using GPS?
Or what about problem-solving skills?
Yeah.
If you can just Google the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are important things to consider.
Yeah.
It's a balance
Yeah.
between tech helping us
Yeah.
and us depending on it too much.
And maybe like losing skills.
Yeah. And maybe even feeling more isolated.
It's almost like a big experiment.
It is, kind of.
And we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're figuring it out as we go.
And it's not just about us as individuals either, right?
Right. It's about society as a whole.
Uh,
Like, what happens to community?
yeah, do we lose that sense of community?
If we're all in our own little online worlds?
Exactly.
And what about privacy?
That's a big one.
All our information going through space.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. There's no easy answers.
No easy answer.
It seems like we need to be really careful
We do.
about how we use this technology.
Have these conversations
Yeah.
about how to make it work for us.
Not against us.
Exactly.
So as we finish up this deep dive into direct-to-cell satellite technology,
Yeah.
what are some key things you want our listeners to take away from this?
Well, first, I think it's awesome to see how this technology can connect the world
Yeah.
and bridge that digital divide we talked about.
Yeah.
It could really create some amazing opportunities,
For sure.
but we have to be smart about it.
Right.
Remember those downsides.
Yeah.
And be careful.
Think about the consequences.
Exactly. We need to make sure this technology is used for good.
I agree. Technology is a tool, and it's up to us how we use it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into direct-to-cell satellite technology.
It was my pleasure.
And thanks all of you for listening. We'll catch you next time.